as the Denver Broncos play host to Minnesota before the usual sellout crowd, 76,000 plus on hand at Mile High Stadium. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome to a typically perfect football day in Denver. We have the Broncos at 5-3, winners of their last two. Minnesota comes in struggling. They're 4-4, but they have lost their last two ball games. I'm joined by Dan Fouts, who appropriately enough is down on a field he knows very well. Dan, what effect will the snow have on the field?
Well, I'm literally on the field, Vern, as you can see. This field is in fantastic condition. The players today are wearing their normal shoes. Some are wearing a little bit bigger spikes, that's about all. But the field is in great shape. It was covered until noon today, and as long as this weather holds up, it'll be in good shape.
In his illustrious 11-year career with the Broncos, John Elway has led the team to 3 Super Bowls and has had some marvelous seasons. But by his own account, he is off to his best year ever. Dan, do you agree?
Absolutely, Vern. The amazing thing in talking to John is how relaxed he is now. He says the pressure is off him because of this Jim Fossil offense. And that's pretty amazing because he is the franchise player here in Denver. The challenge today for Minnesota, of course, will be to put pressure on that franchise player. And when you're talking pressure, it's got to come up front. Henry Thomas, John Randall, Chris Dolman, and Roy Barker have got to put the heat on John Elway.
One other note for the Vikings, they will not have the presence of Robert Smith. The running back suffered from an ear infection all this week after chickenpox a week ago. He did make the trip down by commercial aircraft this morning, but the trip made him ill. He's in the locker room trying to sleep right now and is in the inactive list. So Robert Smith will not be a part of an offense that gained only 20 yards on the ground last week, losing to San Diego. Minnesota has won the toss. Jason Elam will kick off. As you can see, he's had 8 touchbacks among his 43 kickoffs this year, and Qadri Ismail is the middleman of 3 back for the Vikings. Wade Phillips in his first full year as head coach of the Denver Broncos. And a sellout crowd on hand for the 185th consecutive home game. Ismail at the goal line. Spilled at the 23-yard line, and Sean Salisbury will open as a starting quarterback for the 2nd week in a row. He came on in relief of the injured Jim McMahon against Detroit week before last. Up front, he'll have Lindsey and McDaniel, Adam Schreiber, Scott Adams, and Tim Irwin. Barry Word will open at running back. Anthony Carter, who caught 10 last week, is joined by Chris Carter and Qadri Ismail at wide receivers, and Steve Jordan is the tight end. And here is Sean Salisbury, 3-1 as a starter last year, his 2nd start of the season this afternoon. Throws on first down, looks right all the way, fires it out for Jordan, who makes the catch at the 27-yard line. And Mike Kroll, along with Tyrone Braxton, make the stop. Defensively for the Broncos, it's Williams, Cragen, and Shane Dronette up front. The linebackers, Fletcher, Wyman, Mecklenburg, and Mike Kroll, who just made the last tackle. And in the secondary, Lilo Lang starts for an injured Charles Dimry. Atwater, Smith, and Braxton are the others. And that running attack up the middle, Barry Word doesn't get much out near the 30-yard line where he'll be short at first down. Sean Salisbury, whose wife Kim grew up in the Cherry Hill section of Denver. So Sean last night was third down. Caught. First down, Denver. Jordan with his 2nd grab. And after a brisk and quick walk up from the field, I'm joined by my partner. Welcome back.
Well, I know why they call it Mile High Stadium, Vern. There's no air here. It's even worse than when I was playing. But defensively today, the Broncos are probably the best team on 1st and 2nd down. So watch for the Vikings to come out and throw the ball on play action early in the game.
First down and 10. We'll let you catch your breath. Here's Barry Word heading left with Mike Tice leading the way. And Word gets a couple out near the 38-yard line. Kroll and Dan Williams make the tackle. Brian Billick, the offensive coordinator, was appointed to that spot in week 2, replacing Jack Burns. Brian Billick, who began his collegiate career just down I-25 at the Air Force Academy.
And he knows that the altitude can be a problem here in Denver, especially when it comes to substitutions. He's going to have to keep an eye on all his receivers.
2nd and 8. Blitz. Salisbury is caught and dropped. Carl Mecklenburg, the 76th sack of his career.
And Mecklenburg is number 77. He's going to come right up the gut. You see him lining up as a down lineman here. Told me he's played every defensive position in his career with the Broncos except in the secondary. That time he went in there and got his 7th sack of the season.
That brings up a 3rd down and 17. Carl Mecklenburg, 11th round or 12th round draft pick out of Minnesota 11 years ago. Roger Craig is in the lineup out of the shotgun. Salisbury goes deep left side, incomplete. Chris Carter couldn't make the grab. Lilo Lang was defending. It'll be 4th down.
They are the best defense in 3rd down conversions in the entire NFL, about 31%. And that's Charlie Walters, defensive coordinator. It says the key, though, for good defense on 3rd down is good defense on 1st and 2nd down.
Harry Newsom is on to punt. And Glenn Milburn is back to returning. He waits at the 23. That's a dandy by Newsom. Excellent punt. Milburn at the 17-yard line. Gets a block. Eric Tunnell knocks him out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So John Elway and the Broncos come on after a 54-yard punt and a 19-yard return. 60 and 16 in his career as a starter at Mile High. John Elway. Up front, it's Zimmerman, Melander, Wydell, Habib. Zimmerman and Habib, of course, are former Vikings. Russell Freeman, the other offensive lineman. Bernstein in the backfield. Johnson, Russell, Shannon Sharp, and Reggie Johnson. 1st and 10 from the 35. No score. Broncos' first possession of the ball game. And Elway, for the 4th consecutive game, they have had a turnover on their first possession. 4 games in a row now. And Fred Strickland makes the recovery as John Elway can't handle the center snap.
Really unusual for Elway to drop a center snap, working with Dave Wydell. But it is a perfect snap by Wydell. Elway just wasn't ready for it. And now the scramble's on. Strickland reaches out and pulls it in. And the Vikings take over inside the 35.
That is only the 4th fumble recovery all season by the Minnesota Vikings. They have had a problem in getting turnovers. And that one was given to them. Here's Barry Word to the 30-yard line.
But you have this type of weather conditions, Vernon, you're going to expect to see turnovers. Probably some interceptions, but the fumble, they're very unusual. First play, offensive play for Denver.
Welcome those of you who are watching the 49ers in Tampa Bay. We have no score. The Vikings with a 2nd down. Here comes the blitz. And out of the backfield, Steve Jordan with his 3rd catch gets it to the 30-yard line. He and Dennis Smith exchange words.
That's going to be a real good matchup all day long. One of the premier tight ends in Steve Jordan. And, of course, one of the all-time great strong safeties, Dennis Smith. Smith said he told me that he learned how to play strong safety way back when he was a USC teammate of Ronnie Lott's. Lott was the strong safety on that Trojan ball club, and Smith was the weak safety. And just watching Ronnie Lott helped Dennis a lot.
There you see the 49ers' big win over Tampa Bay. Here, no score. 3rd and 4, Minnesota. Salisbury under his center, 1 running back. And the blitz is not coming this time. Here's Salisbury, has a man wide open. Anthony Carter trips up at the 5-yard line. Looked like Carter was going to stroll in, and he may have tripped himself.
He absolutely tripped himself, Vern. Dennis Smith got his hands on him, but he spun away. Watch the good pass by Salisbury. Threads the needle in here to Carter, who makes a wonderful catch. Now he's going to trip himself right about the 5-yard line. His feet get tangled up there, and he was looking for another defender. There's the defender, Atwater, and trips down just about at the 1-yard line.
Anthony Carter, who caught 10 last week, 27 yards on that one.
Has to be real disappointed he didn't get in the end zone.
Barry Word is the running back. Play action. Salisbury fumbles the ball. There's a scramble for it. And I believe Denver has it.
Mecklenburg with another big play for the Broncos. And the ball is not wet. The ball is a drive football. But both Salisbury now and Elway have fumbled. It looked like Salisbury reached the ball out and it hit Barry Ward's elbow and then went on the ground. And then Sean just couldn't get control of it after it was on the ground. Big turnover.
Turnovers even at 1-1. Scoreless game intact. Elway hands it off to Bernstein, who is stuffed in the backfield. John Randall, 93, leads the way.
And number 25, Vincey Glenn, former teammate of Rod Bernstein's in San Diego. Spent last night having dinner together. But Rod told me Friday afternoon that he's just going to have to tell Vincey, if I get the chance, I'm going to have to run over you, pal. That time Vincey had some help.
Robert Del Pino checks into the backfield with Bernstein now on 2nd down and 10. No score. Early first quarter. Elway, Bernstein slips the tackle of Carlos Jenkins and moves the ball out near the 17-yard line before Jack Del Rio makes the stop, a gain of 9. Viking defense, Dolman, Randall, Thomas, and Barker. They are having an excellent season up front, particularly when it comes to pressure applied. Strickland, Del Rio, and Jenkins are the linebackers, and the secondary includes McMillan, Vincey Glenn, Todd Scott, and Carl Lee.
Vikings don't expect the Broncos to give their offensive line a lot of help. They know the Broncos like to get all 5 of their receivers out in the pass route, so that could be an advantage for Minnesota.
3rd and 1, John Elway has to call time. Burns one. Not happy about it.
No, it's a case of that old 40-second clock running down on the quarterback. Play was not given to Elway fast enough so he could relay it to his teammates in the huddle.
There's Wade Phillips, who was hospitalized for a night earlier this week with gastroenteritis. Anywhere else, that would probably earn a mention on the front page of the sports page the next day. But in Denver, one station went live with a press conference. It was a major news story here. John Elway told us that's when he realized that Bronco Mania hadn't gone away completely.
Yeah, well, this offense has brought Bronco Mania back. You see the improvement that Denver has this year. They're number 2 in the league, just behind San Francisco by a fraction in points per game, and that production is way up from what it's been the last couple of years here in Denver.
Back in 1982, the offensive coordinator at Stanford with Rod Dowhauer, the head coach, was Jim Fassel. He actually recruited John out of high school in 1980. And John, of course, an illustrious All-American career at Stanford. There is Jim Fassel, former head coach at Utah. Last year, the offensive coordinator of the New York Giants. 3rd and 1. That's going to be close. Real close.
You know, not only are the Broncos good on defense on 3rd down conversions, but they lead the NFL on offensive 3rd down conversions, converting of almost 49%. This one is real close.
Del Pino, the carrier, and Strickland, the tackle. Tom White is the referee.
But, you know, one of the statistical oddities, though, is that Denver on 4th down conversions, where it's usually 1 or 2 yards to go, they're only 1 out of 7. So that tells me they're not real good at converting when they have to run the ball.
And they didn't this time. 4th down. And Wade Phillips will not gamble this early and this deep in the ball game. So Tom Ruin is on to punt.
Good defensive stand for Minnesota after the disappointing turnover and the bad handoff between Salisbury and Barry Ward. Defense comes up big, 3 plays and a punt.
Eric Gulliford is back to return this punt. And Tom Ruin is ready to kick it on 4th and 1. Turnovers now even at 1-1 as these two teams made for only the 8th time ever, Minnesota and Denver, and the first time here since 1984. Nice high punt. Gulliford, fair catch, makes the grab at the 37-yard line. And so Sean Salisbury And the Minnesota Vikings come back on the field after that 46-yard punt.
And in talking to Sean, he said one of the problems they're going to have today with this loud crowd here at Mile High Stadium is that it's going to be difficult for them to audible. So what they're going to do is they're going to sometimes call 2 plays in the huddle or on the sidelines and then just go directly to the ball and line up in a 2-play sequence. If they have a play called and the defense, it looks like it's going to be a difficult play for them, they're going to have to adjust the pass routes on the run. They're going to have to live with the play that's called in the huddle.
First down and 10. Up the middle, Barry Word to the 40-yard line. We welcome those of you who've been watching the Green Bay-New Orleans game. Our score, zip-zip. Midway through the first quarter, Minnesota had a 1st and goal on the Denver 1-yard line, but Sean Salisbury fumbled the ball, recovered by the Denver Broncos, who then were forced to give it up. So now on the 3rd possession of the game, here is Minnesota with a 2nd down and 7. Throws it deep, almost picked off by Dennis Smith. Salisbury was in trouble at the outset.
Yeah, Dan Williams, by making that pressure on the quarterback, almost gave Dennis Smith a gift interception. Watch number 90 here. He's totally unblocked. Vikings were counting on him maybe going after the fake, but he sees the ball's in the quarterback's hands, and it's sick-em time. Good pressure by Dan Williams, who's playing on a real tender left ankle.
He's one of the members of the youngest team in the National Football League. The average age of the 52 players, 26 years. Here's Salisbury. Fires it, intercepted. Picked off by Robinson, and he's got the ball at the 31-yard line. Frank Robinson's first interception. And a return of 13 yards.
This turnover hurts almost as badly as the first turnover. Watch Salisbury throw the ball late to the outside to Chris Carter. Pressure forces him out of the pocket, and then he just makes a poor decision right there as Frank Robinson breaks on the ball and picks it off.
So the Broncos get it back at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10, no score in the game. Shannon Sharp in motion. Elway, safety valve pass to Johnson, the tight end. And he moves it down to the 25-yard line where Fred Strickland makes the tackle. That's a gain of 6.
Now the pressure's going to come up the middle, but what the tight end is doing on the outside there, Johnson, he's taking a little bit of the heat off of Dolman. You see Dolman is nowhere near Elway, and the pass is complete after the block on the tight end. Elway did a nice job of avoiding that pressure right up the gut.
Elway will go out of the shotgun, and Glenn Milburn checks into the backfield beside him. 2nd down, 4-man rush. Elway will scramble and finds his receiver open. It's Milburn, and he's tackled at the 21-yard line. That'll be close for the 1st down. Fred Strickland with a tackle and a gain of 5. Well, we'll bring you up to date. Green Bay wins a big ball game in New Orleans. 49ers win big. The Giants defeat Washington. Miami, Don Shula wins number 325, and Houston rolls over Cincinnati 38-3.
I did a television show here the other night with a local sports writer named Woody Page, who predicted that Cincinnati would beat Houston.
Did he? No wonder we haven't seen Woody in the area for a while. Rod Bernstein is back in the backfield. Flag is down. So's Elway. Chris Dolman got him after Roy Barker applied the initial pressure.
And Roy Barker also jumped off sides, got into that neutral zone. 92 offsides.
Offsides, 92 defense, 5 yards for 1st down.
Well, John Tierlink, the defensive line coach, says he doesn't mind if his team is offsides.
Yeah, but you got to wonder, though, that at times that would have been a big play for the defense with Dolman coming around and sacking Elway. But Tierlink likes that ratio of 1 sack, 1 offsides.
Arthur Marshall and Glenn Milburn check back in on 1st and 10 from the 15. 1st and 5, rather. Left side, Shannon Sharp to the 4-yard line. And now it'll be 1st and goal, a gain of 11.
That's the difference in this Bronco offense this year from past years. There's nobody in the backfield with Elway. All his 5 receivers are on the line of scrimmage. He reads the open man. It's Shannon Sharp. He takes the ball inside the 5, and the Broncos are in business. Elway had to get rid of that ball because he was facing some real pressure right up the middle from John Randall.
Bernstein back in on 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. No score. Broncos 1st and goal at the Minnesota 4. Bernstein. And that's a pickup of 1 down near the 3-yard line.
Yeah, I played 1 year with Rod Bernstein in San Diego, Vern, and that was 7 years ago. And he is finally, in his own words, the featured back. Remember, he came in the league as a tight end. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to Kellen Winslow in San Diego. That didn't work out. Coaching staffs changed. They put Rod at fullback, but then he had to share time with Marion Butts. Here in Denver, he's the main guy and happy about it.
And he is a big guy at 245.
Yes, he is.
And then they swing in Milburn at 180. Here's Elway back. He's thrown for 15 of these this year, but this won't be another one. John Elway has really improved his touchdown pass production through the first 8 games of this year.
He's got 10 more touchdown passes than he has interceptions. That's a pretty good improvement because his history is basically 1 interception, 1 touchdown pass. But this offense really suits John. It's very similar to the offense he ran 10, 11, 12 years ago when he was at the University of Stanford.
3rd and goal from the 4. Del Pino comes in, split backs with Rod Bernstein. Elway looks back across the field. Nobody there. Then fires it deep. Caught. Touchdown. Derek Russell. Patience pays off.
And did that look like Joe Montana throwing to Dwight Clark in the catch when the 49ers beat the Cowboys? Just staying alive by the quarterback. Elway could have stepped out of bounds. He could have thrown the ball away, but he forced the defense to commit and then lofted it over their heads for the easy touchdown. Great play by John Elway.
Derek Russell's 3rd touchdown catch of 1993, and it comes on his 27th reception of the season. Jason Elam, he is on to tack on the extra point. Blocked. How about that? How about that? Tim Irwin, number 76, the longtime veteran tackle who was one of only 3 men who started for Minnesota the last time they played here.
Watch Elway just keep his wits about himself. The defender comes up, McMillan, and there's Russell in the corner of the end zone for the 6.
If you give up AT&T quality and call from Atlanta to Boston with someone else, here's your big savings. Leaving AT&T doesn't make a lot of sense.
Here are some more firsts where First Interstate Bank just can't help you. But there are firsts where First Interstate can be a big help, like helping you fix up your house to make it the home you really want. We'll do everything possible to help you with that. And because there's so many times when no one can help you, when it comes to banking, come to First Interstate Bank, and we'll go out of our way to help you. As long as we can.
This Camel's system is so adaptive, it can travel 50 miles in desert heat without taking fluid, making it one of the world's most dependable animals. This automobile system is so adaptive that if necessary for your safety, it is engineered to travel 50 miles in desert heat without a single drop of coolant, which might also tell you something about its dependability. The Seville STS with the North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
You have any idea why Duracell batteries last so long?
Why they last so long?
Yes.
I can never explain why. I'm not a sort of an engineer, but it's all we carry. And never got a complaint.
That's good enough for us, Mike.
Duracell. No other battery lasts longer.
Tommy Maddox is going to fumble this snap. He catches the ball, but then he can't seem to get it on its point. Ball leans forward, and then it's just a drill shot into the gut of Big Tim Irwin. 7 times he's done that, Vern.
And years from now, Tim Irwin will talk about the great penetration he had on the extra point at Mile High. Here's Kadri Ismail. And he's down at the 20-yard line. So the Vikings, who about 5 minutes ago had a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, have fallen behind 6-0. They do have the ball back, and time has been called. Snowing in Denver. 6-0 Broncos.
To appreciate the higher standard created by the spacious 6-passenger accommodations of the all-new Cadillac DeVille Concours, you need only travel around town. To appreciate the responsiveness of its sophisticated North Star system, you might prefer to travel around the country. But before its North Star V8 will require its first 100,000-mile scheduled tune-up, you'd have to travel around the world 4 times. The Cadillac DeVille Concours, creating a higher standard.
When I became my own boss, I also became my own employee. So now he tells me to make coffee, open the mail, make sure the copier's working. So I checked around and people said get a Canon personal copier. Canon has a unique single cartridge that contains the toner, developer, drum, and virtually all the moving parts. Change the cartridge, and it's like getting a new copier. Buying it was such a good idea, I took him to lunch.
Canon personal copiers. Call 1-800-4321-HOP.
I lost my shoes, I broke my arm, and my socks didn't match. I was as sorry as your average chicken sandwich. And then I tried McDonald's new McGrilled Chicken Extra Value Meal. A marinated chicken breast with Monterey Jack, sweet red onions, and tangy herb dressing on a bakery roll, plus fries and a Coke. Well, my arm got better, my socks both matched, and I just found a Rembrandt in my garage.
Coincidence? We don't think so. Try the new McGrilled Chicken Sandwich Extra Value Meal. Further proof that what you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. McDonald's, what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever. And by Canon, a world leader in office equipment.
Roger Craig is in the lineup for the Minnesota Vikings, rather. And he gets the carry out to the 30-yard line. 9-yard carry for the veteran who was an unrestricted free agent acquisition from the Raiders.
Here's an example of the Vikings calling 2 plays in the huddle. This is not a hurry-up offense. They just want to take Denver out of their comfort zone, give them something different to look at and think about.
So on 2nd and 1, Salisbury on a timing pattern, perfect pass, and Anthony Carter slips up again. This time he did not trip on his own. He was tripped up.
Well, this is the reason that Salisbury's had success the last couple of weeks and really getting Anthony Carter back involved in the offense. That arm is a strong arm. That's a great throw by Salisbury. And unfortunately, Carter's having trouble, not with the field, but it looks like with his own feet.
Yeah, it was. He did trip himself for the 2nd time. That's a gain of 30, 1st down 10 at the 40. And here's Roger Craig. Flag is down. This one's going to come back.
Here's the holding call. That's Tom White, our referee for today. Hold number 123.
If you're in the status numbers, that's not a good one.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Number 64 offense. 10 yards.
You get Randall McDaniel for going up into the face mask. Very unusual call on a running play. Usually you see that on a pass play.
Denny Green looking on. First time he has coached here at Mile High Stadium. In 1980, Dennis Green was on a Stanford coaching staff and coached John Elway. He was reminiscing about John as a college quarterback with us last night. 1st down and 20, 6-0 Broncos. Blitz. Salisbury, deep left side, man coverage, and it's a diving grab. Perfectly thrown and caught. Anthony Carter with 18 catches in the last 2 weeks, and what a big grab that was.
He's got 3 so far, and he's just about at 100 yards at 97. A great throw again by Salisbury, really showing off that strong arm of his. but the effort here at the end is just what we've become accustomed to seeing from Anthony Carter, although we haven't seen it that much lately. Just really a route that he really had no involvement in until the very end, trying to lull Frank Robinson to sleep. But it's the effort at the end of the play that sets AC apart from the rest.
10 catches last week, 3 today for 70 yards, a couple of trips. And it's going to be first down. Officially, they're going to call this the 11-yard line.
Player was leaving the field. Therefore, we stopped the game. Reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
We only heard the last part of that explanation, but apparently everything is in order. Officially call this the 11-yard line. They can get a first down without the touchdown. Craig hit at the line of scrimmage and manages to get, maybe 6 feet. Just another addendum to the Robert Smith story. Chicken pox last week, ear infection this week. Did not come down with the team on the charter yesterday. Came down commercially this morning. The plane was delayed by weather. He got sick on the airplane. He is not feeling well at all. He is in the locker room trying to sleep and will fly back with the team after the game, but he's inactive today. Second down and 7. Into the end zone, Carter, and he was open in the pass a little high and hot.
Yeah, but you got to make
Catchable.
that catch.
You
Yes,
bet.
sir, Vern. It was a hot one, and Salisbury is known for throwing sometimes too hard on short routes, but when you're in the red area, that field really shrinks, and you've got to throw the fastball. This ball is coming pretty good, and usually Chris Carter makes that catch, but didn't that time.
3rd and 10. Sean Salisbury told us last night he hoped it snowed today. He got his wish. Timing pattern, end zone, Anthony Carter, no good. Out of bounds. Carter says yes. The official, whose authority will prevail, said
Didn't get his feet down as they call. It's a blitz, though. Watch number 40. That's Hall coming right up the middle. Atwater gets a real late break. He's a non-factor. And then at the end of the play, he didn't get the left foot down. The right foot did get in right there. But watch, the left foot is just coming off the ground. That is really close.
Broncos have too many men on the field. They call time. That's their second timeout. Dan Williams was trying to hurry off and couldn't get there. Sometimes you can get away with 12 men on the field. It's difficult to hide 13. Broncos called time.
You build a new razor with precision heads to shave below the skin in comfort. And what do you get? Cut a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave even closer. And what do you get? Build a razor that shaves closer, smoother than ever before. And what do you get? The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever.
Imagine you just stepped on the accelerator of an Eldorado touring coupe with the North Star system by Cadillac. Suddenly you passed 60 miles per hour, and as you quickly approach 100 miles per hour, you're wondering, is this really a Cadillac? Of course, you wouldn't really do this because you're not a professional test driver on a closed track. But if you were, you could approach 150 miles per hour. The Eldorado touring coupe with the North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
Wouldn't it be great? Yeah! If you invented a special potion that turned anybody into Rachel Hunter, the supermodel.
Ralph, would you take me for a walk?
Cool.
Ralph, we gotta work all weekend. All weekend.
And your special potion turned ordinary beer in a can into Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry, specially lined for really smooth
Bottle beer taste. Ralph, mind if I join your party?
Sure, Bert. Come on over. Wouldn't that be great?
6-0 Denver leading Minnesota. Touchdown catch made by Derek Russell. And here's Shane Durnett and the field goal defensive team that's on. Harry Newsom will hold. And Fawad Reveus, 14 of 18 for the year. This from 25 yards out. And the Vikings are on the board. That will cut the margin in half. As Fawad Reveas hammers it home from 25 yards away. 6-3 Broncos.
The Standard, an automobile seat that may transfer bumps from the road and aggravate your back. The higher standard in the all-new Cadillac DeVille is new suspension seating, which acts like a shock absorber for the driver's back, isolating you from bumps to help reduce back pressure and increase circulation, which should leave you more refreshed mile after mile. Suspension seating in the new V8-powered DeVille by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
You're kidding. The heat's off on Saturday? I can't get a copy of Fixed on Saturday. That's helpful.
Technical support is closed on Saturday and...
Please send up some coffees.
UPS introduces Saturday Pickup.
You'll pick up the package?
With guaranteed tracking and guaranteed air delivery by 10:30 a.m. Monday.
Great.
Coffee.
All for less than our competitors.
How you doing?
Hi.
Finally, something on Saturday.
Iced coffee.
Guaranteed to go right. UPS.
What would you have if you took a taste just like White Zinfandel and added the celebration of champagne? You'd have something even better than White Zinfandel. You'd have the delicious new taste of Eden Rock Brut Rosé, the dazzling new taste in champagne.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Look to us for special delivery. Call us. We'll arrange to pick you up at your home, office, or repair shop. That's special delivery. That's Enterprise.
Academy Award winner John Voight is Woodrow Call. Witness his moment of truth.
I'm going to catch 3. Captain!
Return to Lonesome Dove tonight.
In 1970, the Broncos played the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against Mile High and drew a crowd of 50,000 plus. That was a sellout as the stadium was configured then. They have sold out every game since. 185 in a row. The stadium now holds 76,000, but not every seat is filled today. There's some less than Hardy Bronco fans.
Well, I'm just proud I had something to do with that record, Vern. I played here 15 times, and they were all here then. Those times.
And a lot of times very close to you over on that visiting bench, right?
Yeah, I think that they had a real home field advantage. They have security now behind the benches in this stadium, but back then they let them hang all over the fence onto our bench.
Reveas with the kickoff. Derek Russell has it for the Broncos. And he's got a lot of room. All down at the 50. The tackle made by one of the fastest men of the Vikings, Kadri Ismail. But a 49-yard kickoff return for Derek Russell.
It really seems like Ismail's had to make a lot of tackles on kickoff returns. Great block here by number 22, Glenn Milburn. He's going to pop Russell free as he puts the block on Scott. Big return for the Broncos, and they have excellent field position again.
By 15 yards, that is the longest kickoff return this season for Denver. Milburn stays in the lineup, gets the handoff, and goes right. Vincey Glenn up around the shoulders, but Milburn moves it to the 23-yard line. A 26-yard gain.
This is Milburn's longest run of his short NFL career. This is what the Broncos need, though, is a little change-up here. Strickland takes the inside route, and Milburn's speed gets him to the outside. And the weak safety, Vincey Glenn, has to come over and make another tackle.
Milburn for the season with 135 yards coming in. Final play of the quarter. Out of the shotgun. Elway lobs it to Milburn. And he is down at the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 8 yards as the Denver Broncos are in scoring position for the second time in the ballgame. They used a Frank Robinson interception to set up a touchdown catch by Derek Russell. The extra point was no good. The Vikings have a field goal. So at the end of one, it's 6-3 Denver.
Football. Real football. On real grass.
Lambeau Field in snow.
No, too obvious. What about the fearsome foursome?
Purple People Eaters.
Carl Eller.
No name defense.
The Oakland Raiders.
Baltimore Colts. Hey, Mike Curtis.
Ray Nitschke.
Willie Lanier.
Immaculate reception.
Franco's Italian.
Oh, real fullback.
Franco Harris, Marv Hubbard, take your pick.
No. The Snake to Clarence Davis, 26 seconds left. AFC semifinals versus Miami.
Beechwood Aged Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
Last night I dreamt about it again. Number 7. It was everywhere like a cosmic signpost urging me on. Maybe it meant that the 7 layers of bliss were within reach. Rice, beans, sour cream, lettuce, pepper, cheese, tomatoes, and guacamole. Only 99 cents. New at Taco Bell. The 7-layer burrito. People say if your dream's too big, you won't get it. You can get it, but only for a limited time.
Cross it. It was pouring rain. I was late. The guy from Xerox was waiting to talk about my documents. My documents, I asked. Add impact to your direct mail, he says. Just add color. You can get 25% more responses. More responses, I say? And I see it. How color gets my documents to make money. I say call my direct mail anything you want. If you're helping my cash flow, you're talking my language.
See your documents differently. Call 1-800-ASK-XEROX, the document company.
Back for quarter number 2, improving the Bronco offense a goal in the offseason. John Elway's very happy.
We signed 3 offensive linemen, and we got Gary Zimmerman in the trade. We got Robert Delpino from the Rams. We got Rod Bernstein in free agency as running back. So it's exciting for me because we've never had this much talent on offense to where we've got so many different options and so many guys that can make big plays.
And they have a 2nd down and 2 as we begin quarter number 2. 6-3, they lead it. Here's Elway back. Finds Shannon Sharp inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Jack Del Rio makes the tackle.
There's some of that talent. Their leading receiver, Shannon Sharp. But the amazing statistic that you look at the Broncos, they have 11 different receivers have caught passes this year, and 8 different receivers have caught touchdown passes. That is distributing the ball to all your offensive weapons.
A plethora of potential receivers.
God bless you.
And I did it without sneezing. 1st and goal at the 8. Milburn back in. Arthur Marshall comes wide right. Russell in the slot. They hand it to Milburn. Tries to dance to the outside, and he is caught and dropped, and here come the flags. Todd Scott made the tackle.
Maybe a face mask call against Scott. This is really unfortunate for the Vikings because they were going to drop Milburn for a big loss.
From the 8 back to the 12. Yeah, 4 yards.
Milburn's going to bounce this to the outside, and Scott surprises him with his speed, but it's going to be the left hand right there. Just hooks the face mask.
Personal
and a couple
foul.
flags see it.
Grabbing the face mask. Minnesota. That'll be 15 yards from the spot where the ball was declared dead before the foul occurred. 1st and goal.
If he marks it off 15 yards, we got a scoop.
We got a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's really a penalty. I think it's half the distance to the end zone.
I think so. I wanted to see him march on in and then realize, whoops.
Well, the fans would have loved it, that's for sure. Especially those South Enders here at Mile High.
Right. 1st and goal at the 6. Out of the shotgun, Elway again. 4-man rush by the Vikings. Elway goes left, one hopper. Incomplete. It was thought by Tony Dungy, the defensive coordinator, that the key for them is to stop the run, force Elway to throw 30 to 35 times, and get some pressure.
Yeah, well, he's 7 out of 9, so if he throws it 30 times, it's probably going to mean 25 completions, unless the Vikings can come up with some way of getting more pressure on number 7. Hasn't been hurried at all today, hasn't been knocked down, uniform nice and clean, and he's got a touchdown pass as well.
2nd and goal from the 6. 5-man rush. Flag is down, so is Milburn, and then another flag, and that one hits Wydell right in the face mask. Tom White, and it's going to be against Minnesota, the white flag rule.
Both flags might be, Vern. It looked like one was called before the ball was snapped, so that might mean offsides. And then it looked like Tom White. There's the offsides call, and the personal foul, grabbing the face mask call. So the Vikings are their own worst enemy here. 3 penalties in the last couple of plays.
Offsides, number 97, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, grabbing a face mask. Number 90, that penalty is accepted. That's a 1st and goal.
Why do I get the idea that Tom White is cold?
That microphone picks up all the little shivers and shakes down there.
Robert Harris is the guilty party on the personal foul. 1st and goal from the 3. High formation. Del Pino, the short back, and Bernstein, the deep man. It's Del Pino. Touchdown, Denver.
That's 5 rushing touchdowns this year for Robert Del Pino. A quick hitter over the left side behind Melander and center Dave Wydell, and he got in rather easily.
Robert Del Pino, an erstwhile Los Angeles Ram. And the Broncos used the kickoff return of Russell to set up this very short touchdown drive of 49 yards. Maddox will hold. Elam will kick it. This time, the hold is perfect, and the kick is as well. Robert Del Pino, the fullback in the I formation, takes it 3 yards and increases the Denver Bronco lead. They're up by 10 at 13-3.
You might expect Lexus to unveil our latest line of cars after inspecting them once, or twice, or perhaps 3 times. But each of our cars must pass inspection on over 100 items. And after that, they're covered by a special limited warranty. Announcing Lexus certified pre-owned cars. Only at your Lexus dealer. Ready for your inspection.
Wouldn't it be great if you were stranded on a desert island with a beautiful woman named Betty? Cool. And while scouting the island, you were suddenly surrounded.
You!
But then they noticed your shoes.
You! Great one! Booga, booga!
So they gave you gifts.
Keystone!
Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Specially lined for really smooth.
Bottle beer taste in can! Sweet and
Wouldn't that be great?
So what's this new deal?
2 pizzas.
2 pizzas. Write that down.
And on the 2 pizzas, choose any topping up to 5.
Do you
have to pick the same topping on each pizza? No.
Then the possibilities are endless.
What do you mean? 5 plus 5 are 10.
Actually, there are 1,048,576 possibilities.
10 was just a ballpark figure.
You got that right.
Little Caesar's favorite 5, not 1 but 2 pizzas. Choice of 5 toppings, $7.98.
Pizza.
The strength of this Minnesota defense all year has been their 2 tackles, John Randall and Henry Thomas. But talk about sweet revenge. Watch right guard Brian Habib working with Russell Freeman just wipe Randall down inside and allow Del Pino to cut off their block and get in the end zone. Broncos are a little bit bigger up front this year with the addition of Habib at 300 pounds and Freeman's a 290-pounder going against the smaller John Randall and Henry Thomas.
Jason Elam will kick it off for the Broncos, who are up 13-3. Kadri Ismail has it at the 7-yard line. Flag is down. So is Ismail at the 20. Rondell Jones, number 31, makes the stop.
And you'd have to assume this is going to be against Minnesota again. And this would be their 5th penalty of the first half.
Holding.
One thing you don't want to do is give the Broncos any help. They do pretty good here by themselves.
Yes, they do.
Holding. Number 59 during the return. It'll be 10 yards from the 20-yard line. First down.
They've been pretty good the last 10 years here. You see their best home record in the NFL since 1984. But the Vikings have had 5 penalties and 2 major turnovers. 1 turnover when they were on the Bronco 1-yard line.
Now Minnesota has a first down at the 10. Steve Jordan starts in motion. The toss goes to Barry Word and a sweep to the right. And he gets good blocking and moves it out across the 20 or right at the 20-yard line. Barry Word, who was acquired from the Kansas City Chiefs, picks up 9 on that play.
And he's one of the few Vikings that has experience playing here in Denver. Of course, played for a number of years with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be close enough to bring out the chain gang.
Bulletin. Sun's out.
Quick.
Yeah. Shadows are here.
Yeah, and the sun is on the it goes to the opposite sideline to the opponent's bench, and it's nice and warm there for a while. But the psychological thing is that you can see it going down, and you can see the shadows getting longer and longer, and colder and colder.
Where would this stadium, where would you put this stadium in terms of difficult places to play on the road?
For us in the San Diego Chargers, it was the most difficult place because weird things happen here, Vern. And don't ask me to explain it. We lost a game here one time when our field goal kicker hit the upright 3 times in one game. Lost 7-0.
Up the middle on 1st down and 10. Barry Word out to the 23-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Well, we've got a good one here. Let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York City.
All right, Vern, in Dallas, Bernie Kosar was a perfect 3-for-3 throwing in his first series as a Cowboy. It led to Emmitt Smith's 4-yard touchdown run, and it's a 10-0 Dallas lead now in the second quarter over the Cardinals, Vern.
All right, Greg, 13-3 here with 12:40 remaining first half. Denver up by 10. Minnesota with a 2nd down and 6. Salisbury, short set. Puts it out to Steve Jordan. That is his 4th catch. Steve came in needing 10 catches to climb into a tie for number 3 on the list of tight ends catching passes in the history of the National Football League. He's tying with Jackie Smith. The number 1 on that list is Ozzie Newsome.
And the number 2 guy was a teammate of mine, Kellen Winslow. And Jordan is as close to Winslow as I've seen in the NFL. Good receiver and a good blocker.
3rd and 2. Blitz. The catch is made at the 30, but that as it will be enough for the 1st down. They are going to rule forward progress just across the 30-yard line. And that would appear to be enough for the 1st down. Roger Craig made the grab.
Dennis Smith is going to keep his eyes on the tight end, Steve Jordan. Lets him go, recognizes the pattern to Roger Craig, and makes the tackle just an instant too late from preventing that 1st down.
1st down and 10 with 11:22 remaining. Salisbury, right side. Jordan, 1st down at the 43-yard line. That's a combination that has worked very effectively today. That's a gain of 14.
A lot of confusion in the Broncos secondary because the Vikings are getting to the line of scrimmage quickly and changing personnel quickly. That time Jordan was just wide open. Nobody covered him at all.
Got a helmet full. And it's 1st down and 10. Barry Word back in the lineup. Picked up on a bounce, then dropped by Braxton. But the Broncos do recover. Tyrone Braxton. Turnover number 3.
Boy, this ball pops loose inside here. It was a nice gain for the Vikings and Word. And it looked like Carl Mecklenburg, as he spun out of the block, got his left arm out there and popped the ball loose, totally by accident. But I told you, weird things happen here, Vern. Watch Mecklenburg's left hand just come flying back as he was pivoting away from the block. Ball bounces out to Braxton, and the Broncos are in business again.
And not far to go, 37 yards out. Here's Elway. Deep drop screen pass. Caught by Bernstein. Spilled at the 28-yard line by Carl Lee and Vincey Glenn.
Yeah, that hit by Glenn knocked Glenn out of the game. It's going over to the sidelines. That's his good buddy, Rod Bernstein, and he promised him, he says, if it comes down to you and me, Vincey, I'm going to have to run you over. He laid that 245 pounds right into Glenn. Good tackle, but painful one.
Turnover story has been the most important aspect of this first half. 3 turnovers for the Vikings now. Second down and 1. Shannon Sharp starts in motion. Elway deep. Man open. No catch. That's the field judge, Richard Reels, who wears number 83, who was very authoritative in saying no.
There's Vance Johnson on the outside, and both he and Sharp are going deep. Ball looks like it's thrown to both of them. Sharp had it there for a moment, but Audrey McMillan came off his man on the outside to strip it away at the last moment.
3rd and 1. Jerry Evans comes in as an extra blocking tight end. Sharp in motion. They hand it off to Delpino. He's stuffed and the flag is down.
Boy, and I bet you this is lining up in the neutral zone again against the Vikings. The flags were thrown immediately after the ball was snapped. That usually indicates offsides on the defense. If so, this is their 6th.
Offsides. Number 92 defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards. First down.
And normally you would think that it's Elway using the hard count to draw these guys off sides. He's not. They're just lining up offsides. You saw Barker there. He was the guy that was down low to the ground, but also too far forward.
Well, thus far, the Vikings have had a heavy hand on the self-destruct button. 6 penalties and 3 turnovers.
They need to hit the reset button.
Exactly. Elway comes right. He'll run it. And Elway is down at the 14-yard line, a gain of 8. Tackle made by J.C. Pearson.
And the crowd loves it because John lowered his shoulder and ran over J.C. Pearson. He said he's used to being the biggest back in the backfield for the Broncos. Bernstein, of course, is bigger now, but throughout John's career, he's always been the power running back for the Broncos. Showed it that time, didn't he?
2nd and 2. He gained 8. I formation again. Bernstein for a couple down near the 13-yard line. Chris Dolman, number 56, with a tackle. Look at the problems the Vikings have had.
And you remember this, one of these 2 fumbles was on the +1 yard line. They had the ball 1st and goal at the 1 yard line and decided to go up top, play action fake. Did not give the ball to Barry Word. The miscue on the fake between Salisbury and Word, and the Broncos recovered the fumble. That was a critical mistake, but also a rather unusual call by Billick and the Vikings when they had the ball on the 1 yard line.
One problem the Broncos have had is game management. They've had to use all 3 of their timeouts already.
Introducing one of the most visually distinct automobiles you've ever seen, and the most technologically advanced Celica Toyota has ever created. The all-new Toyota Celica, with sophisticated safety systems, available ABS, standard driver and passenger side airbags. But despite all this technology, when people see the new Celica, there's only one thing that keeps coming to mind. Watch out, it's here.
Turn it up. Portable stereos devour power. But the music goes on and on with Rayovac Renewal, a new kind of alkaline battery created to be reusable. They outlive those bunny batteries because they're reusable 25 times or more. They outperform old-fashioned rechargeables because you get alkaline power in every charge. More power, more music. That's the power of renewal from Rayovac.
I was driving, and then I forgot where I was. I think I left my body, but then I came back. I got hungry. I brought back a vision, the number 7, the 7-layer burrito. New from Taco Bell. Rice, beans, sour cream, lettuce, pepper cheese, tomatoes, and guacamole. Only 99 cents for a limited time. I could almost taste it, and then I did. And I came back
full.
Cross it.
Next Sunday on CBS,
You got Chicago at Kansas City.
there's Dallas at Atlanta.
And the Giants at Philly.
You gonna finish that?
I'm a big fan.
Next Sunday, the NFL continues on CBS. Some of you will see Chicago at Kansas City, Detroit at Green Bay. Others watch the Giants at Philadelphia. Dan and I are going to stay in a territory he knows well. The AFC West will be at Kansas City for that Chicago KC game. 3rd and 1 Broncos midway through quarter number 2 at Mile High. They lead it 13-3. Delpino and Bernstein in the backfield. Here's the toss, and Delpino goes left. Has the first down at the 10-yard line. Dallas continues to lead Phoenix 10-0.
Well, they got that quarterback with those diminishing skills playing for him
right.
now, right?
I'll tell you what, it didn't diminish his pocketbook at $1 million guaranteed for the end of the year.
Yeah. They ought to see my skills. They want to look at diminished skills. I'll play for half that.
I'll go you one better. How about a quarter?
How about a 10th?
Oh, dear. 1st and goal at the 10. Elway out of the shotgun. There's motion again. Dolman may have come offside. Elway throws it away. Had a free play, but it looks like it's going to be the 7th penalty against Minnesota in this half.
Yeah, pretty obvious that the old hard count got Dolman. He hasn't been offsides yet today. The other guys have, lining up, but Chris was just a little quick on the trigger. Tony Dungy says it's difficult to control these guys because that's such a big part of their game. He says it's almost like a track meet. And there's some discussion here as to whether Dolman was pulled offsides.
Henry Thomas is arguing that it's going to go, or that this might be against the Broncos.
Offside.
Yeah.
The left tackle moving prior to the snap. That's 5 yards. There is no play. Please reset the clock.
This is unusual for Elway to pull Gary Zimmerman off. Watch him, number 65, right side of the screen. Well, that's a terrible call.
Ooh.
Zimmerman never moved.
No, looked like a statue.
That's unbelievable. They said it was a false start by left tackle. That's Zimmerman. He never moved.
That's the first penalty against Denver. It'll be 1st and goal from the 15. Johnson, touchdown. Vance Johnson, who was a Bronco, then was traded to Minnesota, lasted a week, was cut, re-signed for a considerably reduced salary by the Denver Broncos. And the only remaining amigo makes the touchdown grab. And we'll pay a fine for that.
No, it didn't go in the stands.
Oh, it didn't?
It hit the screen. Came back at him. He's hurting a little bit because that was a great effort to lay out, knowing that the big hit was coming from Vincey Glenn. But it's his 4th touchdown catch of the year, and his 34th from Mr. Elway.
And John Elway has thrown for 2 here in the first half of play.
I don't know what's better on this play, Vern, the throw or the catch. But any way you look at it, it adds up to 6 points. A lot of time to throw. It's a high, hard one. Johnson makes the grab, pays the price, and his quarterback is happy.
With the Toyota Touch Lease, there's never been a better time to lease a Toyota. And never a better time to lease a Toyota Camry LE. For only $289 a month, Camry LE comes loaded with air conditioning, dual airbags, power windows and door locks, cruise control, deluxe stereo cassette, and more. For only $289 a month, the Toyota Camry LE and the Toyota Touch Lease. In today's economy, it's perfect timing.
For years, I never even thought about it. Guess I just didn't want to face things.
Yeah, I've been there.
But now, my parents, they need real help. It's gonna be tight. We'll just have to manage somehow.
I got this guy at Payne Weber. put me in a mutual fund for my parents. Same time he set up my kid's college fund.
That long ago? How do you know about your parents back then?
He asked.
Classic television. Hogan's Heroes.
Green Acres.
Arnold Ziffer. Who played him? Nobody. He was the pig. Remember Family Affair?
Mr. French.
I loved him. He's attractive.
Pete, Link, Julie. Okay, Ginger or Mary Ann?
Ginger was a bimbo.
Louis Gossett Jr. is Isom Pickett, who always did right until someone did him wrong.
I'm gonna go get him. He's mine.
Meet him and return to Lonesome Dove tonight.
In just less than 8.5 games in 1993, John Elway has now thrown for 17 touchdowns, 2 this afternoon. Here's the kickoff by Jason Elam. Kadri Ismail at the 3. Dangerous.
We talked about how Sean Salisbury threw the ball too hard for Chris Carter. Watch this hard throw to Johnson between the safety Glenn and the cornerback on the outside. You just got to throw it hard, especially against the zone and especially in the red area, and that is a perfect throw. Nothing either Glenn or McMillan could have done on that one.
There's Vance Johnson, who limped off the field. They're checking his knee, but I think he's going to be all right.
He said he was treating this game as a tryout for the Vikings. Felt he never really got a chance when he was with the Vikings this summer. I think he's passed his tryouts.
Well, Denny Green said something last night about the reason they cut him so quickly is they decided that he would never start in Minnesota, and they didn't want to cut either of the young receivers, so they let him go. Why did they trade for him?
Absolutely, that's the question I was going to ask. Glad you did.
Barry Word. Now Minnesota with real problems. They have had 6 penalties in the ballgame, 7, I beg your pardon. 3 turnovers, and they trail by 17 now.
They just have to stick with their game plan at this point. Hope to cut this lead down to at least 10 going into halftime and have a shot coming out in the second half.
Salisbury right side. That's good for a first down. Chris Carter makes the catch. Up at the 37-yard line. Sean Salisbury, of course, replacing Jim McMahon, who is with the team but inactive today. And before he managed to stick in the NFL, and it took him a long time, Salisbury played with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the Canadian League, so he's not unused to snow.
Well, and I asked him, you know, does he do anything different? He says, no. When you play in Winnipeg, when that wind's blowing off the plains, there's nothing you can do. You just have to kind of bite the bullet and do your normal thing. He's having a good afternoon so far.
Blitz, Mecklenburg down the middle, Jordan. Boy, did they read that one right. All the way down to the 10-yard line. What a great read by Salisbury on the blitz. And Steve Jordan makes his 6th catch of the ball game.
The blitz is the call, Vern. It's Atwater coming up to pick up Word, and you got to believe that that's a blown coverage by either Dennis Smith coming over late or by Atwater. This is the kind of foot race that the Vikings would like to see all day. Number 77, Mecklenburg, trying to run down 83 Jordan.
53 yards on that pass and catch. Steve Jordan with his 6th grab of the day.
And this is really where the Vikings miss Robert Smith. They could use his explosiveness and speed especially after running Word and Craig earlier in this game. They're both about the same speed, but what Smith gives them is that burst that you need against a fast defensive team like the Broncos.
Second down at the 8-yard line, 20-3. Denver leads it. Salisbury rolls to his left, pulls out, man wide open. Chris Carter, touchdown.
That's exactly what the Vikings needed. They got the big play to Jordan on the blitz, And now in the second play since that play, good play call by Billick, rolling the quarterback out. Carter found the spot in the back of the end zone. Really a nice combination route on that side of the field as Carter slipped in behind the defense. They were looking at Ismail short.
That's the 4th touchdown grab of the season for Chris Carter. Here's Fuad Reveas. The extra point is up, and it is good. And so quickly, the Vikings retaliate.
There's Brian Billick, offensive coordinator. Watch Steve Jordan. We saw him make the great play on the pass reception. Now he's being the good blocker, taking care of Simon Fletcher.
A look behind the scenes as sports and science converge, brought to you by AT&T. The U.S. Olympic Committee unveiled a state-of-the-art swimming pool last month where current and future Olympians can train. The new facility features 6 above water and 3 underwater cameras, all patched into a central control room where they are recorded for analysis. Pacing monitors reveal computerized practice instructions which can be individualized for each lane. It is a swimmer's paradise.
Hey, MCI friends and family customers, want to see how you could save more with AT&T? Look, most people call the same area code over and over. Well, if you spend $40 a month on long distance, AT&T will give you 25% off our basic prices to that one area code. So if you're a friends and family basic or primetime customer, you could save more with AT&T. Now, write down this number. You'll also get 15% off your other calls, too. So call now and switch. Just another part of the iPlan.
Introducing the all-new 1994 two-door Camry Coupe. Any guesses where we got the idea? The new Toyota Camry Coupe, developed and built in America.
Chris Carter, one of the best in the league in number of touchdowns per reception. Jerry Rice is the leader, 6.1 catches per touchdown catch, and Chris Carter's on that list.
34 touchdown catches for Carter now. Could have had one earlier in the game, too.
Shoulda.
Woulda.
Here's Reveas. And that'll be a touchback as Glenn Milburn drops to one knee.
A little bit of confusion on the part of the Broncos secondary. And remember, this is Frank Robinson out here. He's replacing Dimry. And watch as he comes up. He should stay deep and be looking for Carter in the back of the end zone, but he bites on the route by Ismail, and that leaves Carter open in the back of the end zone.
And it cuts the lead to 20-10 with 4:03 to go before halftime. John Elway, 2 touchdown passes already today. Here's one of the few blitzes threatened by the Vikings. They're coming. The toss to Bernstein on the sweep right. And good defensive work against the run by Minnesota.
And the Vikings, what they also need now is a turnover, Vern. And talking to Dungy, the turnovers just haven't come this year as they did last year. He's not too worried about it, but he feels that his team has to play with a sense of urgency, that they have to realize that they're in desperate straits and all those type of cliches and everything. And then if they play that way, then the turnovers will come.
See the Cowboys go up as Bernie Kosar throws a touchdown pass. 2nd and 10, Shannon Sharp in motion to the left. Elway across the middle to Sharp.
You see Kosar getting that touchdown pass, Vern, and you got to think that the Browns management is real happy they're not playing at home today, and instead of playing in Seattle, because if they were playing at home and they put that score up there about Dallas and Kosar doing well, they'd hear about it. Boy, there's some diminished scoring there on Cleveland's part. I think that's the word of the day, diminished.
Diminished, yes. Del Pino's back in on 3rd and 1 officially. Here's the toss to Del Pino. Bernstein leads the way. And that's good for a first down out across the 30-yard line. 2:38 to go in the first half.
You know, John told me that there's less pressure on him, and part of the reason is he's delivering and distributing the ball to all his receivers. To the wide receivers, it's down just a little bit. The tight ends, it's the same, but it's in the running backs, Bernstein and Milburn and Del Pino, where the distribution of passes has gone up. That is tough to defense when everybody's involved in the offense.
1st and 10, Denver. They're up by 10. Left side, caught by Johnson, the tight end. Something fairly rare. He's not that involved in the passing game. Came in with only 12 catches. He's got 2 in the first half.
Well, and the Vikings finally put a little soil and dirt and grass stains on Elway's uniform. Watch Randall here. He's going to spin him to the ground. Yeah, there's some grass stains for you, John.
Yeah, I have a feeling John will settle for that. Not a bad outing for Mr. Elway and friends. 20-10. The Broncos are up by Minnesota at the 2-minute warning.
DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. It's easy to make it happen.
I was tired, listless. My hair looked bad. My dog moved away. My life was as bland as your average chicken sandwich. Then I tried McDonald's new McGrilled chicken. Now this was different.
A marinated chicken breast with Monterey Jack, sweet red onions, tangy herb dressing on a bakery roll. Well, things changed. My hair looks great. My dog came home, and we struck oil in the backyard.
Coincidence? We don't think so. Try the new McGrilled chicken sandwich. Further proof that what you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
With the Toyota Touch lease, there's never been a better time to lease a Toyota, and never a better time to lease a Toyota Corolla. For only $189 a month with no down payment, you get Corolla's legendary reputation for reliability. Dual airbags, air conditioning, power steering, 4-speaker stereo, and more. For only $189 a month, the Toyota Corolla and the Toyota Touch lease. In today's economy, it's perfect timing.
Jim McMahon is on the inactive list today with a dislocated shoulder, but he is immaculately dressed, wearing a former Fox.
And you know, there's nobody out there that's going to go up and throw blood on him.
No. I saw him and John Elway talking before the game, and I think Elway was congratulating him on his clothes. Here's a flag down, and
I think this one's going to go against Russell Freeman, Vern. The right tackle seemed to be moving quickly. Too quickly.
False start. Number 84 offense, moving prior to the snap. Still second down.
Got the guy lined up next to Freeman, Shannon Sharp.
About an hour before the game, out on the middle of the field, here were McMahon and Elway. John was seen. I really like your tails. Nice coat. Somehow I don't think we'll see Elway in similar kind of fashion. Help me out here.
I saw that you ordered the same thing.
There's a sack at the 15-yard line. Dolman. J.C. Pearson thought they had the fumble recovery. A loss of 16 yards.
It's a blitz off the slot by Pearson, Fern. Here he is, 24, coming in free. Actually, here he is from this side. Dolman is coming from this right side. Nobody there and nobody to catch the blitz adjustment. The question is, was that ball out before Elway was down? Tom White, our official, says his knee was down before the ball came out. You can see John looking for one of his receivers, and that's real close as Dolman had his right hand on the ball and just pulled it loose.
Time has been called with 1:56 remaining first half. Time called by Minnesota.
Anyone can see that the new GE Profile Radiant Convection range is easy to clean. But the real technological advantage is what you can't see. So we'll show it to you in a roundabout way. Introducing the first GE range that circulates hot air all around your food. roasting meats up to 30% faster, so they get done to a turn on the outside while staying tender and juicy on the inside. Why does GE offer such an ingenious way to cook? Because we know how much of life revolves around dinner.
1:56 to go first half. Broncos up by 10, but they're looking at a 3rd and 24. And Minnesota with 2 timeouts remaining if they are able to force Denver into a punt. Milburn goes left. And a flag is down, thrown back in the vicinity of a confrontation with Dolman and John Melander. Holding.
And this penalty thing is getting contagious here. It was Minnesota having problems with it earlier, and now Denver is kind of losing concentration here. Of course, Henry Thomas says refuse that one. We want the ball back. Conservative call by the Broncos. Jim Fossil didn't want to expose his quarterback to that pass rush.
Number 64 offense. The penalty is declined. Result of the play will be 4th down.
And as a result, Tom Ruin is on to punt. And Eric Gulliford is deep for the Vikings, deep being the 36-yard line. .148 to go before halftime. Minnesota has 2 timeouts remaining. High but not terribly deep. Gulliford has it at the 40. And counter punches as far as the 45-yard line. Mike Kroll makes the tackle. 36-yard punt and 5 on the return, and the Vikings are 55 yards away with 1:39 to go. Next weekend, be sure to join Greg Norman as he hosts the Franklin Fund Shark Shootout from Sherwood Country Club in Thousand Oaks, California. That's Saturday at 3:30 Eastern and Sunday at 2:30 Eastern or 4:30 Eastern, depending on when the football game is televised in your area. Be sure to check your local listings. Here's Salisbury. Drills it. Incomplete. Intended for Jordan. Lilo Lang was defending at the 50-yard line.
Up to that point, Salisbury had completed 6 in a row and really had led his team back after falling behind by 17 points. They've had their opportunities today. Remember, they had the ball on the 1-yard line when they fumbled. Chris Carter dropped a potential touchdown pass, but Salisbury's held them together well.
2nd down and 10, 1:35 to go before halftime. Broncos up by 10. Good protection. On a line for Carter with the catch. Dandy grab by Chris Carter.
There's nobody better in the league at making it one-handed, whether it's his left hand or his right hand. This guy continues to amaze me. I played with a couple guys who could catch it one-handed, but I've never seen anybody like Chris Carter.
That's a gain of 23, and this catch is made for Anthony Carter, and Atwater tries to take his head off, but he gets out of bounds at the 17-yard line. And how about this sudden comeback by Minnesota?
Well, the Broncos aren't putting any pressure on Salisbury. He's able to stand back there and let his wide receivers maneuver down the field. First Chris Carter, then Anthony Carter.
Still 1:10 remaining in the half, and the Vikings have their 2 timeouts left.
Absolutely, that's really key. That really gives them the opportunity to run a lot of different types of plays. They can afford to run the ball in this situation as well.
Little screen pass to Roger Craig. Roger Craig strolls in for the touchdown. And muffs the spike.
You think he'd be better at it? He's done it so many times in his career. Been in the end zone now 73 times in his great career. But that screen pass was not only well thought out, it was well executed. Key blocks by Schreiber and Todd Kalis.
You know what the most common look now when you get a reaction shot in the National Football League?
Is looking at the replay.
Guys
board.
Looking up at a 45-degree angle. Hey, look, Mom, that's me. Reveus. And what looked like a Denver runaway at 20-3 is now a very close ball game at 2017.
Key blocks by number 69 and number 60. Kalis and Schreiber. There's Schreiber's block, and then Kalis and McDaniel take care of Lilo Lang, who wanted nothing to do with those big guys. And then just one of the all-time worst spikes by Roger Craig. They're going to invite Simon Fletcher up the field. There's the cut block by Tim Irwin. Perfectly executed screen pass and a wonderful call by Brian Billick. Broncos were back on their heels, and when's the last time you saw a screen pass go that far for a touchdown?
Roger Craig now in his 11th year. And a terrific call. Well executed, as Dan said. It's 20-17.
Talk about a quarterback with a hot hand, too. I mean, Salisbury, last couple of drives, has only missed one pass.
Well, we haven't reached the half yet, and he has thrown for 254 yards. The pass defense of the Broncos has been a problem all season, though. Charlie Waters was telling us he thought they had improved terrifically in the last couple of weeks.
One of the big problems is today they're just not putting any pressure on Salisbury. And when you can stand back there, and when you're nice and tall at 6'5", as Sean is, and have a strong right arm, it's not that difficult to find those wide receivers that are getting open.
1:02 to go before halftime. 20-17. Derek Russell gets by Jake Reed and scoots up the sidelines out of bounds in the vicinity of the Minnesota bench at the 33-yard line. Brian Billick played collegiately at Brigham Young after he started at the Air Force Academy. 39 years of age.
And his goal today was to force the Broncos defensive backs to give them a couple of different looks to get them out of their comfort zone. I think he's put them right on the hot seat. 254 yards passing first half.
First down and 10, no timeouts. The Broncos had to use all three of theirs. They lead by only 3 now. Rydell over the ball. Blitz coming. Elway goes deep to Shannon Sharp. What a perfect pass. They'll have to hurry. 45 seconds remaining in the half. A gain of 32.
But if there's a quarterback in the NFL that doesn't need to use timeouts, it's John Elway. Risky call there by Dungy going with the blitz. Sharp was man-to-man on Pearson. And now we've got offsides.
Dolman came across, and he's claiming that Zimmerman drew him across. There was other movement as well.
False start. 75 offense. Moving prior to the snap. 5 yards. Still first down.
Brian Habib, a former Viking.
But you know that stopped the clock momentarily. So for 5 seconds, you got 5 yards. They'll rewind the clock here.
Jason Elam warming up on the sideline just in case. Ball at the 40 right now. 4-man rush by Minnesota. Elway across the middle. At the 33-yard line, tackle made by Carlos Jenkins.
You see the Vikings are in a zone defense now. They're not going to risk the blitz again.
And there's the spike by Elway, stopping the clock, and a flag is thrown. Well, Jason Elam has hit from 54 yards out this season. Did that in week 2.
Offsides. Number 97. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards. Still second down.
Yet another penalty against Minnesota. That's number 8.
That one might really hurt the most, too, because that moves Elam a little bit closer. But don't forget, that moves Elway a little bit closer, too.
Indeed. 14 seconds to go. 4-man rush again. Elway in the middle, caught at the 5-yard line. Shannon Sharp. Now they'll have to hurry and spike the ball. Can they get it set? No, they cannot. Flags are down.
Now remember, the half cannot end on a defensive foul.
Well, I can read lips, and one of the officials just said the offense was not set. The half is over.
That's real good work by the officials,
yes,
getting together.
There is no play. The clock had expired prior to the ball being put in play. That's the end of the first half.
Good teamwork by the officials, because the official that threw the flag could not see the clock. Another official could, and he overruled the penalty flag.
Well, it's been a dandy first half. The Broncos went up by 20-3. Sean Salisbury led Minnesota back, and it's a 3-point margin at the half.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, makers of the exciting all-new Celica. Watch out, it's here. Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Hewlett-Packard, DeskJet, and LaserJet printers. And by Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships.
The National Football League salutes teachers across the nation through its Teacher of the Year program.
He helped me understand that my athletic ability was not going to last a lifetime, so he really stressed education. He said a solid education will be your foundation for life.
Each month, the NFL salutes a teacher who had a positive influence on the overall development of an NFL player. This month, the NFL salutes Judy Chapman, nominated by Tommy Maddox of the Denver Broncos.
Teachers are role models each and every day. And that's why I work hard to get my teaching certificate to be a teacher.
She helped me both academically, socially, and as a friend to grow and gain confidence.
It's just hard for me to think now how she gave that much, you know, when she didn't have to. She really didn't have to. And I can never thank her enough.
Athletes are not the only role models. Teachers can be role models, too.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
What do you want me to tell you? Okay. Cub has the freshest produce. They come straight from the farmer's field to our back door to our shelves. It really looks good. More? You don't get any fresher than that.
Baked fresh every day.
Okay, Mark, here you go.
Baked fresh every day.
Hang on.
Here, blew it.
Take two. Ready? Yeah. Cut.
French bread.
Great. One more time.
One more time.
Don't you just hate it when you buy a brand new computer and then you find it somewhere else for a lot less? Introducing the new Computer Supercenter that guarantees great prices and over 5,000 items every day. Like this IBM PS1 Expert with color monitor for $1,348. Computer City, guaranteed great prices every day.
Tim Burke's parents are loyal Colorado National Bank customers, not just because 5 years ago the bank set up their IRA or 12 years ago helped them get their mortgage. Tim's parents are with Colorado National because this year their banker took the time to learn more about each member of the family and tactfully suggested a college education fund for young Tim.
Gumbel, Terry Bradshaw back with the action from earlier today. In New Orleans, Packers trailed by 1. Final minute, here's Brett Favre.
Favre gets out of the pocket. A prevent zone is designed to stop this, Greg. The bomb that'll beat you in the end of the game. Sterling Sharp, big catch.
Set up Chris Jackie for the 36-yard field goal with just 3 seconds to play. Packers won at 19-17. Brett loves playing in the Dome.
I wanted to come here and make a good showing for me, for my team, and for the fans that have come here to root me on. And it's just a great place to come back to and have a game like this.
In Tampa, the 49ers continue to roll. Steve Young to Jerry Rice for touchdowns 4 times today as the 49ers crush Tampa. Steve Young likes it.
We just need to keep pushing because we got a great game next week against New Orleans. And if we can, to me, we'll put out the accolades maybe at the end of the season. Right now, we are playing very good offensively, but we want to push on.
Redskins and the Giants at the Meadowlands. Dave Meggett throwing the ball.
Well, earlier in the year, remember, against the Redskins, Meggett went to the left, found Sherrard for a TD. This time, Callaway to the right side.
Mark Rippon's been having some problems getting balls batted back into his face. Gets this one knocked down by Corey Miller. He also had 7 passes dropped on him today.
Frustration today, Rippon out. Good pressure, gets outside, finds his man, throws an ugly ball, makes an ugly drop, and Rip says, I had enough.
The Giants rolled 20-6. In Philadelphia, Don Shula looking for a record-setting win number 325 as a coach. He had to do it without Miami quarterback Scott Mitchell, who left the game with a separated left shoulder. Ken O'Brien, meanwhile, had his problem.
Great quarterbacks have great grasp of things, Greg, but one of them is a wet ball, hard to handle. O'Brien drops it.
Miami won at 19-14. Don Shula sets the record all-time victories as a coach. Our Jim Gray was down on the field with the victorious coach after the game.
Don, your thoughts on breaking this record? Oh, it's fantastic. The guys hanging there like they did with Mitchell going down and our next quarterback stepping up. But now we got to have a great year. I want to remember this in the context of a great year. All right.
And in Cincinnati, are the Bengals about to shuffle off to Baltimore? Who knows? We do know that Warren Moon had another great day against the Bengals. 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Haywood Jeffries. The Oilers win it 38-3, and the NFL continues right after this.
Is their 60 Minutes anniversary show really as good as the critics say it is? See for yourself in a special 2-hour 60 Minutes. Then, America's beloved saga continues, an epic television event with an all-star cast. Return to Lonesome Dove tonight. Don't miss 2 incredible legends only on CBS.
Will Dave be Kenny's love doctor?
You're fixing him up?
Shell, you're not ready to start dating yet.
My bill at the video store last month was $600. I'm ready, baby.
Dave's World, Monday. This is CBS.
Before you buy a new car, consider the comfort. Consider the quiet. Consider the power. Consider the fit and the finish. But most importantly, before you buy a new car, consider these options. The Chevy S-Series, so new from the inside out. Everything else is history.
Under conditions like these, the Pentax IQ Zoom 90WR doesn't break, it snaps.
They gathered at the co-op one Saturday morning. Independent farmers pulling together to make their community a better place. That's the idea behind the local co-ops that make up the farmland system. Co-ops owned by local farmers to meet local needs. Supplying farmland inputs for better farming to help produce better food more profitably. Together, they build a system that benefits everyone. Farmland. Better farming, better food.
Janet and John Elway offstage today on Colorado 7 News at 5.
One of America's darkest weekends. A president is assassinated, but the NFL decides the games must go on. It was the day they played football. Reflections 30 years later, next Sunday on the NFL Today.
The NFL Today Dockers halftime report is sponsored by new Loose Fit Dockers. Nobody does pants like Dockers.
Halftime of the game between the Vikings and the Broncos. Welcome back, everyone. The Broncos have gotten 2 touchdown passes from John Elway.
They've gotten 2 touchdown passes from John Elway. Unfortunately, they had used up their 3 timeouts, or they might have been able to stop the clock on that last drive there. One of the things would be concerned a little bit, Greg, is Salisbury's thrown for over 250 yards in just the first half. Denver
Broncos looking to go 6-3 with a victory. They lead it by 3 at halftime. In Dallas, the Cowboys in charge of the Phoenix Cardinals, 17-0. Now, Bernie Kosar arrived on the scene with 5 minutes of play in the first half. Todd Philcox, the starter for the Browns, has played the entire first half. Look at the comparison.
Diminishing skills, Greg. That points it out right there. Look at this. 7 for 8, 152 yards and a TD for Bernie. He's obviously washed up. Philcox, though, star on the rise, 2 for 7, 59 yards, 2 interceptions, not to mention 2 fumbles. Poor Bernie.
Bernie Kosar has fumbled once, and down in Dallas, they love the arrival of Bernie Kosar, and this is Bernie getting a nice little pitch-and-catch play with Emmitt Smith.
Hey, give a man that's got talent a little bit of time and some players around him, and this is what happens. A small screen out of the backfield. Emmitt, great power, and here's a great effort, man, by the safety. This is Williams coming down, knocks off the block, and finally gets Emmitt out on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, Bernie is not supposed to be able to move around in the backfield either.
Can't move a lick, Greg. That's why you don't want Bernie doing this. See there? He pulls up. Smart guys wouldn't do that. There's that great arm. course, that arm's not what it used to be.
Cowboys are after his 7th straight win. They lead the Cardinals 17-0 at halftime. In Los Angeles, the Raiders leading the Kansas City Chiefs 17-7 in the 3rd quarter. Dave Craig again quarterbacking the Chiefs with Montana out with the injury. In Seattle, the Seahawks leading the Cleveland Browns 7-5 at halftime. In the Hoosier Dome, they have now gone to the 3rd quarter. The New York Jets with a 7-point lead over Indianapolis. Boomer Esiason has thrown a touchdown pass to Chris Burkett for New York. And in Los Angeles, the Rams trail the Atlanta Falcons 6-0. That game has gone to the 3rd quarter as well. And the NFL on CBS will continue right after this.
There's a new kind of Dockers. New loose-fit Dockers. Maybe you've seen them downtown at the office, at one of the better seaside resorts, or maybe over the backgammon table. Fact is, almost anywhere a guy wants to look sharp and still feel comfortable is where you'll find new loose-fit Dockers, which only makes sense because nobody does pants like Dockers.
If your business gives up AT&T quality, chasing after big savings from another long-distance company, don't expect to find a pot of gold. Leaving AT&T doesn't make a lot of sense.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Look to us for special delivery. Call us. We'll arrange to pick you up at your home, office, or repair shop. That's special delivery. That's Enterprise.
Will Murphy survive journalism's big award?
From the moment I joined FYI, you've been jealous of me.
Freud might disagree, but believe me, there is nothing you have that I want.
Murphy Brown. Then, when Jack and Dana both show up at the doctor.
What are you doing here?
He won't say.
Will it become a pain in the...
I just want you to relax.
Love and War after Murphy Brown, Monday.
How safe is the chicken you eat? Over 1 million Americans are poisoned each year. Ways to protect yourself in an Eye on America special investigation this week on the CBS Evening News.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. And by Braun Flex Control, the first electric shaver with a pivoting head that adjusts to every contour of your face.
76,000 tickets sold, and they have enjoyed a good ball game. Those who came to the game today, 20-17. Denver was up 20-3 at one point, and the Vikings came back to score twice in the last 2 minutes. Had it not been for a fumble on the second drive of the ball game, Minnesota would be in the lead right now.
And that fumble was a miss handoff between, or a miss fake handoff between Salisbury and Barry Ward. But they really did come back in that second quarter. Salisbury is averaging over 10 yards per attempt. And Jordan has 6 receptions, but this key block on Fletcher allows Salisbury to get outside and find Chris Carter in the back of the end zone. And then just an outstanding play selection by Brian Billick on the screen, and perfect execution as they first get the block on Fletcher, and then downfield Schreiber and Kalis clear the path for Craig to get into the end zone.
Well, let's not forget that the Broncos do lead by 20-17, but Minnesota has been able to exploit this Denver defense, pass defense, deep.
Yes, they have, and the amazing thing is it's because of Salisbury's strong arm. This statistic, where you're getting the ball down the field, you got to be throwing it to your wide receivers, and your tight end Jordan got the big one down the middle too. But 5 out of 7 plus 20, that's a fantastic statistic.
Well, a week ago in a loss to San Diego, Sean Salisbury threw for 347 yards, and already at the half he has thrown for 254. The Broncos will get the ball, however, on offense to begin the second half. Fawad Rivas will kick it off. Glenn Milburn waits for it at the 1. And does not get it out to the 20. He'll be down at the 19. First down and 10. And a flag is down. Rushing yards, not much. Haven't been a factor at all. Passing yards, look at that Minnesota total, 245. The turnovers have been costly, and they've also been penalized a bunch.
Offsides. Offsides. Number 82 on the kicking team, 5 yards.
And the penalty problems continue. That ball was going to be Broncos are going to take over inside the 20-yard line now. This will allow the Broncos a better return. But Ismail's the guy that's offsides. That's really inexcusable. All you have to do is look inside to see when the kicker kicks the ball. You can't be ahead of the kicker. Totally amazed and shocked that he could be offsides.
But seemingly unconcerned.
And he doesn't really need to be offsides with his speed.
That's right. So we'll kick it again from the 30-yard line. Godry Ismail. Second round pick this year. And we'll try it over. Glenn Milburn moves up to the 5-yard line. Arthur Marshall is also back with him. Ismail still not believing that he was called offside. And there is a definite sense of the anticlimactic after.
And he won't be offsides this time because he's on the bench.
Right. See what a difference it makes. Here's Milburn at the 5. Big difference. They gain 10 yards after the 5-yard penalty. Jake Reed makes the tackle. And here comes John Elway and the Denver offense back on the field.
And you can see the improvement they've made in the offseason, acquiring Bernstein and Del Pino and drafting Glenn Milburn. This is a 10-point difference here, and that's why they're number 2 in the NFL and well on their way today with 20 points in the first half.
Here's a bulletin, another flag. This one at the 40-yard line. Personal foul, Denver.
Well, Denver doesn't want to be outdone. They can create fouls and penalties.
This will be their 4th.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 37 Denver, half the distance to the goal, first down.
That's Anthony Lynn, a backup running back. So after all of that, Wade Phillips and the Broncos have a first down and 10 at their own 15-yard line. 20-17 as we begin the second half. Elway, left side. Out to the 22-yard line, the catch made by Derek Russell, and the tackle made by Fred Strickland, number 53.
Talking to Tony Dungy about their chances today, he felt that they matched up well against Elway and against the Broncos, particularly in the pass rush. The Broncos like to just use 5 pass blockers, and the Vikings have 4 of the best pass rushers in their down linemen.
Second down and officially 2. Got to move the ball out to the 25-yard line. Elway throws a rope, and a flag is now thrown in the offensive backfield. Holding against Denver.
Yeah, the quickness of the Viking defensive line that time was too much. Like Henry Thomas is shaken up a little bit. Thomas may have been the guy that was held on the play.
Holding, 75 offense, 10 yards, still second down.
That's Brian Habib, the right guard. And here he is, and right behind Del Rio is Henry Thomas. And great move by Thomas, just swatting Habib out of the way, and Habib had to reach out and grab him.
Yeah, he tackled him. Second down and 13. And here's Elway back, this time with protection. Comes right, screen pass. And a good defensive play by Henry Thomas, who was injured on the play. He made the tackle from behind. Now he's going to be a little slow getting up, and will do so holding and favoring his right knee.
This was as outstanding a play as he made on the previous play when he got held. Watch Thomas recognize the screen, getting double teamed, fighting off the block of both Wydell and Habib, and then tackling Bernstein from behind.
Thomas stays in. It'll be 3rd down and 12. sacked and dropped. John Randall, who came in with 5.5 sacks for the season, gets to Elway for that one.
Well, when you sack the quarterback, your chances are pretty good. You see, when John Elway has been sacked, and he's been sacked twice now today, this is their record.
And then 3 or more.
If you get them down a few more times, you're going to win the ball game. Simple as that.
Tom Ruin from the end zone. And Minnesota will have a chance to go on top, having trailed at one point 20-3. Not a terrific kick. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line of the Denver Broncos.
And how crucial was that personal foul penalty on the kickoff return by Anthony Lynn? The Broncos were going to take over the ball outside the 30-yard line. The 15 yards pushed them inside the 20 all the way to the 14. And that made Wade Phillips and his offense a little antsy. Henry Thomas took over. And now the Vikings come out with the ball inside the Bronco 40. What a turn of events.
Brian Billick kept the offense on the sideline until the last minute. They huddled on the sideline. Now they come out. Salisbury threw for 254 in the first half. Flags are down.
Got a false start against the Vikings.
False start. Number 61 offense. 5 yards, moving prior to the snap. Still first down.
Now, one of the reasons the Vikings huddle on the sidelines and then run to the line of scrimmage is they don't want to give the defense a chance to recognize the personnel. At that time, they snuck Derek Tennell, one of the reserve tight ends, into the ball game before the Broncos could recognize it. So the Vikings right now have 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends, although Tennell is lined up in the backfield.
And it'll be first down and 15. Salisbury will go from the shotgun. Now we've had 14 penalties accepted so far in the ball game. So if you're a fan of flags, then you're kind of day.
Yeah, if you're a laundryman, you're loving it.
Right. Salisbury with a lot of time across the middle, and he has Carter on a crossing route. Chris Carter gets a downfield block and then fumbles out of bounds. He was down by contact inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. A gain of 26 yards.
Right now, Chris Carter is just taking Frank Robinson to school. On the outside, it's just a deep crossing route. Here's Robinson and Carter hooked up. Watch him push Robinson deep and then cut across the middle.
Now back to live action. Here's a draw play, and Barry Ward slips and falls. One of the first times we've seen anybody slip on this real grass of Mile High Stadium.
Yeah, I really love the fact that this is a multi-purpose stadium. The Rockies, of course, play here, and the Broncos, and it's a grass field, and it works for both sports. Something that the NFL ought to look at and rip out all those other AstroTurf fields and put this type of field where there now is AstroTurf.
Second down and 10. Rockies don't just play here. They draw 4.5 million here. Salisbury almost picked off. Flag is down. We may have an interference call on Dennis Smith.
Yep, they're going to get Dennis Smith as he closed on Chris Carter. The same exact route, a deep crossing route by Chris Carter. And Dennis Smith came a little bit too soon. Got the contact and 3 penalty flags.
Pass interference. Number 49 defense. It's a first and goal.
Watch left side of the screen. Carter's going to come into the picture, and then right behind him, there's the contact by Dennis Smith, and the ball's inside the 5 for Minnesota.
Roger Craig is in the backfield now, and Mike Tice comes in as a second tight end. First and goal from the 3. Craig has it, spilled at the 2.
Boy, real nice play by Dan Williams, number 90, just knifed in there and took the legs out from underneath Roger Craig.
That'll set up a 2nd down and goal. Well, this is a Minnesota team that at one point had 6 penalties and 3 turnovers and were down 20-3, and now they have a chance to take the lead. A 2nd and goal from the 2. And in the backfield, Randall McDaniel, the guard, to provide the blocking punch, but not enough of it as Craig is stopped at the 1.
Now, McDaniel did his job, but Derek Tennell whiffed on his blocks. Dave Wyman got in there and made the tackle. Watch number 46, Tennell, come over here just a little bit late. He can't make the block, nor can Scott Adams. And the Vikings don't get in.
3rd and goal. McDaniel loads it up to the right side. Play action. Salisbury, nobody open. Now fires it away in the end zone for Mike Tice.
Boy, and you don't think the Vikings miss Robert Smith now. 2 real pathetic straight-ahead dives by the Vikings, and then a play-action pass on 3rd down. You knew the Broncos knew that this play-action was coming. Single-man receiver. Tice was the guy. Great job of defending him by Dennis Smith. And Atwater came over later. But a heck of a stand by the Broncos.
For the tie, here is Fawad Reveus. 19-yard attempt is up and good. And with 9 minutes and 41 seconds remaining, the Minnesota Vikings have completed the comeback. They've scored the last 17 points, and we are notched at 20 apiece.
It may not look busy, but this Dodge Intrepid is processing 2 million pieces of information per second. Its remarkable computer network constantly analyzes data that helps it choose shift points, optimize fuel economy, even maintain the inside temperature you want. Just think, with 5 seconds left in this commercial, Intrepid still has about 10 million things to do. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything.
Football.
Golf.
No. Football.
Let's watch both.
Miller Lite presents Full Contact Golf.
Yeah!
We're still on the first hole, Bob, and this is Davis teeing it up. Here's the drive. It is blocked. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything. Oh, he's got daylight going for the green. Here's the putt. There's the blitz. It's good. Yeah!
Tough hole. Good beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
Braun Flex Control. The first electric shaver with a pivoting head. Flex Control automatically adjusts to every contour of your face. Under the chin, under the lip, that tricky spot under your nose. You'll get the closest Braun shave yet. Flex Control from Braun. The last word in shavers.
In 1970, the Dallas Cowboys used a 3rd-round draft pick to take a former Clemson quarterback as a defensive back. Well, Charlie Waters came in and played a very distinguished career at both cornerback and strong safety, and as a star of the special teams. Charlie Waters with Cliff Harris, one of the best tandems in a defensive backfield to lead the Cowboys. 13 years, 3 Pro Bowls, 9 playoff interceptions in his career. I saw him get 3 of those in one game against Chicago.
And his 17-point lead has disappeared because his defense is not getting pressure on Salisbury, something he was worried about when we talked to him on Friday. Said the Vikings like to use little tiny splits in their offensive line and max protect the quarterback. It's working for him.
Here's Milburn with the kickoff. 20-20 is the score. And Glenn Milburn gets it back to the 25-yard line. This is a big game for both these teams. With the way the AFC West is going, and Kansas City is losing to the Raiders right now, if the Broncos win, they could be tied at the top of the AFC West. And, of course, Detroit is out in front of the NFC Central playing that 5th-place schedule, which is a gift from the league.
And the Vikings are trying to keep pace with Green Bay, who won earlier today against New Orleans.
Exactly. Robert Del Pino's in the backfield, and the shotgun is used by the Broncos. Here's Del Pino. 50 moves. And Robert Del Pino is out to the 34-yard line.
You know, Vern, I really don't mind broadcasting this type of ball game when they come out in the shotgun on first down. We've had over 400 yards of passing offense. I can handle this. This is good.
Knowing that it has received your blessing, I'm sure that both teams will now play with even more inspiration for the duration.
Well, you know, you sit up in the box here, you feel a little bit like one of those Roman emperors. Thumbs up on this game.
All right. Here's Elway back, left side. Flag is down. There's something we've seen today. Del Pino out to the 40-yard line. Carlos Jenkins, number 51. Well, we at CBS, of course, only get a chance to come into Mile High a maximum of 2 times a year. And it is just such a terrific place from which to broadcast a game.
Illegal formation. Number 65 offense. Down the line of scrimmage. 5 yards. Still second down.
Boy, they're picking on Gary Zimmerman, aren't they? This time they get him for lining up too far back. Well, the reason he's back is because the Vikings are crowding the line. They're in the neutral zone all the time.
See how these 3 decks sit right on top of the field here. So there's a wall of sound that is so much a part of the game. Here's Del Pino on second down out across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, it's really a great home field advantage for the Broncos because there are 3 factors that the visiting team has to deal with. They have to deal with the mile-high altitude, they have to deal with the crowd noise, and when it gets late in the season, you have to deal with the weather.
Well, the last time Minnesota played here was almost 9 years ago this weekend. It was November 18th of '84, and this man, John Elway, threw for 5 touchdown passes in that game. A 42-21 victory. Another flag. Here's Elway. Shannon Sharp gets by J.C. Pearson. Gets a block downfield from Vance Johnson. And is out of bounds at the 3-yard line, but there is a flag down.
It looks like it's coming back. Yep. Big play by Shannon Sharp, but it's all for nothing.
Motion penalty against Denver will wipe out a 66-yard pass catch.
Yeah, that'll give you a gastroenteritis or whatever he had. Let's see who the guilty party here is with the illegal motion. There are 2 men moving at the same time right there, and that's a good call by the officials.
5 yards, still third down.
Lack of concentration on the Broncos' part.
Well, the Broncos are catching up, too, in the penalty department. That's their 8th.
Oh, we got a tie game. Why not tie up the penalties, too?
It was 6-0 Minnesota for a long time. Now it's 9-8 Minnesota. Screen pass, right side. Milburn doesn't get the block he needed.
Wonderful tackle there by Anthony Parker, the guy that was victimized a couple of weeks ago in that questionable pass interference call. Just made a super tackle on Milburn. Watch Milburn just kind of slip out to the right side behind his blocker here. And this is just about as good an open field tackle as you'll ever see. Had to avoid that big offensive lineman and then bring down a real shifty runner.
That was John Melander who was trying to get there for the block. And on 4th down, low snap, Bruin picks it up, line drive punt. Guilford at the 30. Downfield coverage is excellent for the Broncos. The tackle made by Jeff Mills, number 52, a 44-yard punt, and 6 on the return. 6:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. We are still tied at 20.
Finally, there's a TV that proves technology can make our lives easier. A Magnavox TV with a precise color picture, smart windows which preview other channels, and the unique smart sound feature which ensures your volume will stay at normal levels no matter what comes on. Magnavox is so smart I didn't even have to show up for this commercial. How'd I do?
Great. You were great. The innovative TVs from Magnavox. Smart, very smart.
Dodge Intrepid comes with this fancy bit of electronics that senses when you're carrying passengers and cargo. Knowing that, it can choose shift points to improve performance. But what's more, Intrepid actually learns how you drive by monitoring every mile. It even adjusts shift quality according to your driving habits. Imagine a car learning how to drive, and you're the teacher. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything.
Okay, class, if a pizza with 3 toppings costs $10.99, what would I pay for 6 toppings?
$12.99, $15.99, $18.99.
Well, anyone? $10.99.
Huh?
The reason is...
It's Bigfoot! It's the Bigfoot Big 6 Pizza. Get our special 6 toppings for the 3-topping price of $10.99.
Are you sure you're the Pizza Hut guy?
Bigfoot from Pizza Hut, a legendary value.
This week on Dave, Billy Crystal, Carly Simon, Sinbad, Trisha Yearwood, Meatloaf, and Dana Carvey. This week.
On Sunday afternoons, you'll find number 97, Henry Thomas, causing havoc in offensive backfields for the Vikings. On Wednesday nights, you'll find him at the bowling alley. He's a key member of the team that represents Fritz's Bar in Minneapolis. Flag is down. What a bulletin. There's a catch made at the 47-yard line, but bring it back. This is going to be a dead ball foul.
Right, but it will be in the highlight film, though.
Oh.
Great catch by Jordan.
False start. Number 83, offense. Moving prior to the snap, 5 yards. Still first down.
Tom White is getting more airtime than David Letterman.
I told you weird things happen here in Denver. These penalties are unbelievable. Another good call, though, as Jordan flinched on the right side of the screen. I kind of liked Henry Thomas' description of his bowling shirt. Nice black silk one, has Hank on over the pocket and Fritz's Bar on the back. A little upset that they're in 3rd place, though.
The game clock.
Says it's important for his teammates, Fred, Jerry, Bob, Brian, and Jerry, to crank things back up, because Hank is real sore on those days and he needs help.
He's got that 175 pin bowling average.
Yes.
Yeah, not 175 yards.
And he used to do bowling for...
Well, I'm not used to bowling, you understand. First down to 15. There's the draw play. It goes to Barry Ward, and he gets about 2 of it back after the 31. Well, let's see what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Back to Greg in New York.
All right, Vern, in Dallas, an Emmitt Smith fumble has led to a Phoenix touchdown. Chris Chandler to Larry Center, 17 yards. It is now a 17-10 Cowboy lead in the 3rd quarter, Vern.
All right, 20-20 is our score. 6:21 to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 13. Salisbury, that ball appeared for the moment to have been tipped. Jordan can't make the catch. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, it did get tipped there, Vernon, and that was a big play as the Broncos came with a 2nd down blitz. Jordan was open, but the ball just kind of fluttered after the deflection. But the Vikings have got to get something going on the run. They're not going to run in this situation. They're averaging less than 3 yards a carry this afternoon.
Well, 44 yards on the ground so far in this ballgame. That comes on the heels of 20 yards against San Diego last week. Salisbury goes deep right side. Jake Reed is down there fighting for the ball, and it's incomplete as Robinson was covering him.
That was a real good job of Robinson, just cutting off the path of Reed and getting in his way and preventing him from getting after that pass. Nice play by Frank Robinson.
And Jake Reed will come back and be a part of the special teams effort now. There's Dolman and Thomas. Henry Thomas said their toughest competition in the bowling league comes from a group of guys who just call themselves imaginatively Team 14.
They're a bunch of bullies is what they are.
Glenn Milburn is back. Oh, that's a dandy punt by Newsom. Milburn at the 13. Pretty nifty return as he moves it out to the 30-yard line. A 56-yard Newsom punt. 17 on the return. The tackle made by the center Mike Morris. 20-20.
Dodge Intrepid has a steering system so advanced, it can actually sense how fast you're driving. At highway speeds, it gives you a more precise feel for the road. As you slow down, it adds power and makes turning and parking easier to handle. To get your hands on steering this sophisticated, have a seat. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything.
The client everybody's after wants to meet us for dinner. Can you be ready in 10 minutes?
Norelco introduces the compact Speed Racer. Why show up at a 7 p.m. meeting with a 7 a.m. shave? The new Norelco Speed Racer. Close and comfortable to go.
What would you have if you took a taste just like White Zinfandel and added the sparkle of champagne? You'd have something even better than White Zinfandel. You'd have the delicious new taste of Eden Rock Brut Rosé. The dazzling new taste in champagne.
What's in the bag? Lunch. Quarter pound of cheese, fries. Kick you for it. First one that misses. I know. Watches the winner eat. Barefoot, helmet on backwards, split the uprights. Through the tunnel, hook it, off the stone guy, split the uprights.
These guys are good.
Off the freeway, through the tunnel, off the scoreboard, split the uprights.
Is their 60 Minutes anniversary show really as good as the critics say it is? See for yourself when the best 1 hour in television becomes the best 2 hours in television tonight.
We're midway through the second half of our doubleheader on CBS. Early this afternoon, Green Bay, a big win over New Orleans. San Francisco, the Giants, Miami. Don Shula becomes the winningest coach in NFL history. Our congratulations to him. And nobody's talking about firing Jack Pardee anymore.
No.
Houston wins big. And here's Rob Bernstein trying to get around the corner. It's 20-20, 5:47 remaining third quarter. If you joined us late, the Denver Broncos jumped out 20-3 over the Minnesota Vikings, but then Sean Salisbury led Minnesota back 2 touchdowns just before halftime in the 7-minute span. It was 20-17 at the half, and then the Vikings got a Fawad Ribeas field goal to tie it up, and that's where we are.
Vikings done a great job of limiting Bernstein. 6 carries, 0 yards.
Wow. 2nd and 11. Blitz threat. It's coming. Elway reads it. Man coverage left side. Diving catch. Vance Johnson in front of Audrey McMillan. He did a terrific job of adjusting to the ball.
Yeah, you think these guys have played together before, huh? 9 years together. Bronco fans have seen this combination. Key is that Johnson can see the ball. McMillan can't see it, so Johnson can time his leap and take it off the top of McMillan's helmet.
First down at the 45-yard line.
But the key for Denver on that play is that they beat the blitz with a big pass play.
Second down, or rather second catch for Johnson. 1st and 10 at the 45. Play action. Elway wants to go deep and does. Wide open Derek Russell. Blown coverage by the Vikings. And Vincey Glenn, who plays a deep center field, had to come up and make the tackle. But that's a gain of 30.
And it was off the play action pass here. Watch after the fake how Russell comes in behind the linebackers who are going to bite on the fake here. That's just enough to let Russell get in deep between the linebackers and the safeties. A very deep weak safety in Vincey Glenn, and good pass protection by Melander. Good teamwork between he and Gary Zimmerman.
They hand it to the fullback, Del Pino. And Henry Thomas bowls him over, number 97. There's Henry.
You know, we've been talking about how hot Salisbury has been. Elway very quietly has completed 12 in a row.
Oh, he's 20 of 23.
That's what the Vikings wanted him to do, though, is throw 30, 35 times.
219 yards. Bernstein back in. Delayed blitz. The pass is complete to Shannon Sharp. Carl Lee with the tackle. Help from Fred Strickland. And that's 13 in a row.
Well, he goes to Johnson on the sidelines. He goes to Russell over the middle. Now he finds Sharp again. Offensive line is doing the job all of a sudden. And the Broncos are just rolling.
Well, you're right, Dan. It was a very quiet 12 and 13 in a row. So much made by us of the fact that Minnesota climbed back into the ball game.
Can't ever forget about number 7, and you can never forget about him in the second half, in particular the fourth quarter.
Goes right, throws it away. And so the streak ends at 13.
But that's an example of John handling the pressure of the pass rush and not feeling he has to force the ball into a receiver. In years past, he might have scrambled around and rifled the ball down the field to Sharp or someone else. But here he realizes that, hey, this is no big deal. We'll just line up again after I throw this one out of bounds. Takes a hit from Barker, but does not force the interception.
Second down and 10, 2:29 to go. Third quarter of play.